channel. It is the one, the only Martha Hunt. Martha, thank you for coming on my channel.
Thank you for having me on your channel.
Of
like,
course.
I'm obsessed with your channel, like everybody else that's watching this channel.
You're so nice.
I'm like a little nervous.
Martha is the sweetest person ever. We have been friends for a while, worked together a few times.
Yes.
But like never got enough time to actually hang out.
No, that like happens a lot in our industry, I feel like, but our schedules are really crazy.
Martha's here with me today. She's invited me into her bathroom, so kind of her. She's a great setup. Martha is also new to YouTube. If you're not subscribed to her channel yet, go do so. It will be below in the description box. So today, Martha and I are going to be getting ready together. We are going to an event tonight, so we were like, let's do a get ready with me and chat.
Yeah, and our little go-to routine.
We're gonna start with skincare.
I'm excited because my skin is so thirsty right now. I was ready for that.
Is there any step of your like skincare regime you never ever skip?
Moisturizing. I have to moisturize.
Over makeup removal?
That is a good question. Well, moisturizing is more important to me than even makeup removal because I have dry skin.
Actually, even harder question, if you had to choose for the rest of your life, makeup or skincare, what would you choose? There you go.
If I had to choose, I would definitely choose skincare.
So you've been doing a lot of makeup tutorials on your channel and your Instagram lately, which I've very much been enjoying.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So have you always been interested in makeup and beauty, or is that like a newer thing since you started modeling, or?
I've always been interested in doing like eyes and lips and stuff like that, but I've only just recently started learning how to do my skin, to be totally honest. Because on my days off, I really just like for my skin to breathe. Like I've never been one to want to like beat my face when I have time off. So now I'm kind of learning what works for my skin, but I'm actually like really appreciating this learning process.
Yeah.
I can't believe it took me this long to figure it all out.
It's fun to learn though.
Yeah.
Is there any like makeup looks that you would love to do but can't like master?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know what? I wish I could do good lip contouring.
Oh,
I cannot. I mean, you don't need it at all. There's just this one makeup artist that just does it like nobody else, and I feel like I'll never be able to meet her standards. So she set the standard too high already.
On one of my videos, I did my friend Erin. Have you worked with Erin Parsons?
Yes, love
She's amazing. She did it for me for one of my videos, and it is crazy what it does.
It makes such a difference.
Like,
I'll never forget the first time she did it on me. I was like, those are not my lips.
Yeah.
Like, these are not like what would happen.
So you have been with VS for a while now. She's not even in the frame. I'm just here talking.
There's a mirror behind, so I'm just...
Martha, you're in your underwear a lot and you look great, and I'm super happy for you. What would you say to the girls at home and to me? Are you always confident when you're on set shooting something like that? Like VS or something?
I literally don't even think about it that way. Like, I just get super professional and treat it as a job, and that's just part of my job. Like, I don't overthink it. Maybe in the beginning I was more in my head about it, and I would like work out before every shoot and obsess about it, but to be honest, I just treat it like a job, and I don't overthink the way my body looks.
It's almost like not emotional. You just make it like...
it's the same way like people are touching us all day, and you kind of have to like desensitize yourself in a way.
That is a hard thing.
You know what I mean? Like it's not a bad thing, it's just that like I treat it as like part of my job.
Yeah, I feel like because I don't do that much like lingerie stuff or anything like that, but I get so weird when I have to do it. Like I get so awkward.
Really?
I do, yeah.
But oh my god, anybody would be so lucky to see you in your lingerie. Oh my god, that's crazy. But that just shows you how like everybody has their own insecurities. And you know what is really crazy? Being in lingerie in real life to me feels even more vulnerable than being on set in lingerie. Because like when I'm on set, it's like I'm playing a character, but when I'm doing it in real life, it's like that feels way more vulnerable. Like you're sharing like a part of yourself with someone, you know?
That's so funny you say that, and it's so true. And my question is like, are you more introverted or extroverted, do you think?
A mix of both. I think that like I like to be social, but I have to have my me time. I have to have my alone time to recharge my batteries.
Do you feel like when you, because you just said like we have to like kind of desensitize ourselves to, you know, being touched all day at work, I feel like that's something that a lot of people overlook that's weirdly hard about our job, is that?
Yes, I completely agree.
what's even harder, I think, is, you know, I really feel like not to get all hippie and crunchy, but like when people are frustrated or upset on set and they're doing my hair or makeup, I can feel them like
the energy. Like you like start to absorb their energy.
So when you first started modeling, did you feel confident like in your skin, or did that take time? Oh my God,
no, that took time for sure. Like, I mean, I guess I felt confident enough to give it a shot. So I guess that's a good sign, but I definitely faced a lot of rejection in the beginning, and that was hard.
Really? People would maybe not know that because you're so successful.
Oh, thank you. It took me a long time. Like, I was definitely not an overnight sensation, and I think that the way you're introduced to the industry is important. And I didn't have like the right management in the beginning, and I heard lots of weird feedback. So I think I went into castings feeling defeated, and like people could tell. So then it would, you know, it would make it harder to cast me. And I remember like years later talking to a big casting director, and he was like, you know, I used to think you were a bitch. And I was like, really? I felt like I was so nice to everyone. And it's probably because I was just like so shy and like insecure from like being used to going to castings and like, you know, not necessarily booking something. And what about you? Like, how was your like experience in the beginning? Were you confident in your skin?
No, I feel like very much no. I kind of have a different story in the sense when I started modeling, I did do well, like kind of fairly early, but I had always been like kind of curvier and like not the typical. When I first started modeling, like the type of girls that were really successful, I mean, it was like a very specific kind of model, almost like Kate Moss, wavy, androgynous, like all of that. So I was kind of like, oh, I definitely don't fit this mold, but I felt like I kind of found a way to like get around.
I feel like we've both figured out our own path, which is like really like awesome that worked out for us, because I think we started around the same time, a different kind of girl that was popular. And I would go to Paris and they would say things like, oh, she looks too healthy or something.
No, my favorite,
I'm like so skinny, like what are you talking?
My favorite feedback I would get would be like, can you smile less?
Yeah, totally. Like you're too American, you know?
Yeah, yes, I got that feedback too. And I was like, I don't know how. And they would be like, yeah, if you could just look a little more tired, a little more pale, be good for you. I was like, okay. I'm asking a lot of BS questions because like I am kind of curious.
Lay it on me.
I'm like, you're like with Adriana Lima and these girls that are like, I guess the question was like, do you get intimidated in group settings like that?
Sometimes, yeah, when there's like big group shoots. Like the thing with me, my personality comes out better when I'm super comfortable. Yeah. And sometimes if I don't know people super well, like it just takes a while for me to warm up. Whereas some people, it's like a mix of different personalities. Like some people just immediately want to be the center of attention, and that's totally fine. Sometimes it takes a while to like warm up with everybody. But now that we've all been working together for so long, we all know each other so well, which is great.
That is nice.
But and I'm sure it's similar with Maybelline. Like you come back to a family, which that's really special.
It's funny, I was thinking about this the other day, like some of the other Maybelline girls, like how things were before social media. Group shoots, you know, when I first started 10 years ago, people didn't have Instagram and all that stuff yet. So when you had, because, you know, on set, there's always a lot of waiting time, you know?
Oh yeah.
And we would actually just like sit on the floor and talk to each other. There was like nothing to do. Yeah. Like you would just sit there and talk to each other, whereas now everyone's just on their phone.
There were so many more bonding moments before Instagram.
Was there any moment or meeting a person or something unexpected that really changed you or kind of shaped you into who you are today?
There was one person who believed in me, and in the beginning I met this other agent with different management, and she just really had all these plans for me and saw potential in me. Taking that risk ended up being so worth it, because that's when everything happened for me, and it was just a snowball effect from there. Like that's when I started doing all that high fashion shows. Yeah. Then I started doing VS. Sometimes it really does come down to having the right management.
Right, it's true. That's actually crazy that like you could have quit and like missed out on like...
I totally wanted to. I was like,
what would you have done if you had quit?
Either have gone to school or act, or like start to try to act.
Yeah,
I was exploring possibilities. I was thinking about it. And that's when I got Bear. That's when I got my dog. So it ended up all working out for the best.
I feel like you should share more about that, like part of your story about like when you started modeling, because you're so successful. Like people would probably not know that you like.
Thank you.
that you went through what you went through or like kind of worked to be where you're at.
Yeah, it was really hard in the beginning. And also, you know, VS had so much to do with it because I literally did not think that I would be doing VS. Like I just didn't think it was in the cards for me because I had scoliosis, and you know, I went through a lot of insecurities due to my scoliosis. Like when I was in high school, I was like, that's not gonna work out for me. So I just need to focus on other things. And then it still happened. So I'm just so grateful that it did.
How did that happen? Did someone see you, or you just got a casting and then
I started first with their catalog. I actually remember the day because it was 12/12/12. So I took that as a sign, like, ooh, that's a good sign. I started first with the catalog and it was lingerie, and I remember being so nervous because once again, because of my scoliosis, I just thought like someone was gonna figure it out and just be like, okay, like, you know, we don't want her. And then it went well, and then I continued doing a ton of catalog, and eventually I worked my way up to the advertising side. Wow. And that's when they started like pushing me out to press events. Like I did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and they started like testing me. And I worked my way up the ladder, sort of. It is important to be grateful. And I feel like you've remained really grateful for someone who's had success for so long, which is really important.
Well, you know, I think this is something that you and I have like connected over, kind of how, in the sense that we both kind of came from like, I mean, at least for myself, I came from like a working class family. You know, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. You know, my parents like worked really hard. My dad was a firefighter, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So I think like once I started modeling and becoming successful and working, like at first it was really driven because I just wanted that independence. I never am far away from the like where I came from, and also like my family, and like, you know, the bigger picture, how lucky we are that like we can like basically make a living off of like our faces.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of nuts.
Was your family really supportive in the beginning?
Yeah, they were, because I think they were like, yeah, go make that money.
Exactly. Same. Yeah, they were like, girl, go collect your coins, see you later. Yeah. Have fun. They were like not worried at all. They were like, you go get paid.
Yeah. When you kind of like started becoming more successful, or like when you got VS, was there any really good piece of advice that you got, and any really not good piece of advice that you've got like in your career?
Ooh, well, once I did hear, one time someone told me to fake it till you make it. And I totally agree with that.
So do I.
Good, okay. People can be pretty divided about that, but
I agree.
The more you project confidence, the more you sell it. So if you really like project yourself as you are so confident and believe in yourself, people will definitely read into that.
It's so true. I always tell myself that before events because I get so nervous and insecure for events. I'm like, just gotta pretend. I just have to pretend.
Exactly. It's almost like you're playing like the actress version of yourself.
Okay, did you ever get any really bad advice? Or any bad advice that models get? You know what I mean?
I think that the bad advice that models get would be, you know, there used to be such an emphasis on making the client or the photographer happy. Yeah. And while that's fine and that's part of the job, it should be within like moral parameters, and there wasn't enough discussion about that. And sometimes I felt like it was easier to silence people if there were problems rather than encourage them to speak up if they were being disrespected. But now things are changing. I feel like you have kind of almost, it's like you have one shot,
and it's nerve-wracking to speak up.
Yeah, you don't want to put a huge photographer or client or anybody in jeopardy because of something you've said as a starting out model. So I think that it makes it really hard to stand up for yourself, but things are changing.
It's true. I wish that people had told me early on, like just even the smallest things, like it's okay to be like, actually no, that doesn't work for me, or actually I need to sit down and have lunch.
Exactly. Like, it's also not just like drawing boundaries that just sort of protect yourself, that show that you have respect for yourself.
What is the best investment you've ever made? And it doesn't have to be financial. Like it could be like a hobby, a person, could be financial, a thing.
My Balenciaga bag. My best investment that I've ever made is, it's actually great timing that you asked this, because this whole week I've been working on a scoliosis research project, and I asked my followers if they wanted to help with the research, and I got an amazing response. Like an overwhelmingly amazing response. and of quality responses. Like, I'm super proud of my followers. I'm working with this awesome surgeon scientist on ways to ultimately help scoliosis treatment. And I've learned a lot about it. Like, you don't have to just give money to a cause that you care about. You can take action, and you can figure out ways to go to the root of the problem.
Yeah.
And, you know, invest your time. And there's things you can do.
Yeah.
And you can get involved with people online in a community. There's so many more options than just like sending money. So it's been really rewarding for me.
That's awesome.
Very time consuming, because I've been literally like going through data of emails and putting them into spreadsheets and responding to people. And it's like, that's the other thing. It's like, this is a cause that could use some major updates. And my followers know that, and they know that I care about it. So it's kind of...
That's amazing that you're like, what a great example of using social media for good, and like how good that connectivity is and how engaged people are.
Yeah, I was totally surprised.
Like, you know, that people are listening and responding and writing, like, it's pretty amazing.
So if any of you guys wrote into the research project, thank you guys.
She's
so much.
What motivates you personally and professionally?
I think the idea that we have these platforms and we have a responsibility to help people. Like, I don't understand the point of having a platform if eventually you're not going to use it for good, but that can even be in small ways, you know what I mean? That can be with your family, that could mean, you know, with a cause you deeply care about, or just bringing awareness to something. But also it could be about, you know, branding yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I love that now, like, there's multiple digital platforms that give us the opportunity to share our voice. That's what I like about YouTube.
Yeah, it's true. So far that you've been on YouTube, what were your impressions of YouTube before you started? And then what are your impressions of it now?
My impressions of YouTube before I started was that it was like more of like cats falling off of like sofas.
Like America's Funniest Home Videos type stuff?
Yeah, which that's what I used to use it for. And now I'm actually using it to watch like quality content and like I'm realizing I'm watching more YouTube than watching like my actual TV. So,
and then now that you've started it, you're into it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I love the idea of being able to like share more with people who I am. Because modeling, or Instagram for that matter, it's kind of hard to convey who you are through photos. And while I think that both of us have been able to do that, and that's great, you know, the whole point of us being models is to like project confidence, you know, like, and that doesn't always reflect what's going on.
Yeah, it's true.
But I appreciate that, you know, it's given me a platform. Like, yeah, it's been a great opportunity for me.
Are you almost done? Where are you at?
Yeah.
Oh, you're done? So am I.
Pretty much. I'm just doing like final touches.
I end up going way heavier than I usually do, but
wow, yours looks amazing.
I really
I love this camera.
I feel like we are done.
Let's see how Hair by Emily worked out.
Oh my god, I did Martha's hair in a very light braid. It looks good.
It's so good.
We are done with our makeup, you guys. I just did kind of like a brown smoky, not smoky eye. What did you end up doing?
I did, I did a little lip stain.
Yeah.
And a little shimmery, light shimmery.
It's very pretty. I like that
rosy,
lip stain.
peachy kind of vibe.
Very pretty. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Martha. Don't forget to subscribe to me, and I will see you guys in my next video.
Thank you guys.
Bye.